Well, here we are for the final race of the season of PSGL. Now then, let's get the admin work out the way. If you haven't seen the previous race, then there isn't one because I didn't upload one because we crashed out in Baku. If you want to see the one before that, then I'll leave that one linked up in the top right, but go check that one out, guys. But yeah, the last race was Baku. I started P6 in the race. It was looking pretty decent, but I got damage on lap 1, tried to recover, and then I got damage through the castle section, ended up DNF in the race. So yeah, a bit of a shame because my pace was actually really strong around there, but I stacked it, a rare DNF from me as we arrive now at Brazil. So, season finale, we're going to try and, do our best to have a decent end. It's been a good season, highs and lows, good consistency, along with a lot of bad luck. And whatever happens next season, whether I get pushed into top split again or remain in F2, I am very much looking forward to it. And I think I've got potential to improve a lot more, so I'm looking forward to that. Now, with that said, in the background you've been seeing my full wet tyre runs, and it won't go too badly, to be fair. Wet qualifying here in Interlagos, the race is going to be dry. We've now switched to the Inters as we go purple in Sector 2. Currently P9, as multiple cars are out there on the Inters now, and the lap times are just constantly evolving.
That's decent with Andre.
As you hear Lewis say, he's got some desync there with Andre Terabukin, who is a driver who I believe has been promoted from F3 for this race. So yeah, Lewis goes fastest, he goes P1, we go P9. A little bit of the pace around here. This isn't my strongest track, especially the middle sector. I lose a lot of time, whereas Lewis actually is quite strong. So you can see right now we're about 3 tenths up on this next lap, and it's looking pretty decent. 4.5 minutes to go. I could have pit on that last lap and abandoned and just gone for a 2-lap final run on Inters, but I gambled and it backfired. We invalidated out of turn 4 when we were 4 tenths up. So with a minute 20 to go, we're going to start our final lap, and we should just about get 2 laps in here if we're clean. So into turn 1, the center S, 4th gear up to 5th on the short shift, trying to use lots of curve. I could use a bit more, to be fair, through turn 2. Nice clean run through turn 3, and what you can see here, we're 3 tenths up, a little bit down on what we were doing before, on the last run before we invalidated, but still 3 tenths up, making our way into turn 4 as we get a sub on Twitch, making our way now turn 5, we're 3.5 tenths up, as at this point we were nearly 4.5 tenths up, so about a tenth down on what we have done in the past as we make our way through the double rights, then down into the first right hand hairpin, and then go downhill. Important to use lots of inside curb through here and stay very tight. So far it's not been the best lap, it's been a little bit scruffy. Sector 1 wasn't perfect, I was a tenth down, and then the first hairpin I missed my apex a little bit. Through here we've done a pretty good job keeping it quite tidy as we now go down the hill through the long left-hander, currently P16, as we get on the brakes into the final corner. Short shifting, smooth exit, but we're not up by as much as I would have liked. We're only 3.5 tenths up, whereas it should have been a bit more than that. Making our way though down into the start-finish, keeping it tight to the left, cross the line, and it's a decent improvement actually, but we only move up to P9, and we're going to go for another push lap here on my final attempt in qualifying. But you'll see now later on in the lap we're only up by about a tenth. It hasn't been a good lap again, to be honest with you. We're still up there by a small margin as I've tried to carry this pace through, but I make a big mistake down the hill and pretty much lose all the advantage. And we've got a car off on the right here as well as we Toto Wolff smash our wheel in frustration at the end of that qualifying. We're going to peel off into the pits. So qualifying over for us as we finish in P12. Louis Welch, our teammate, up in P6. I will say we can win the Constructors this weekend. We're currently leading right now, and we're 10 points clear of Williams. So we'll see what happens. But qualifying wise, a bit of a poor session. I do think there was more time in it, especially with the track evolution. I didn't time my runs as good as I would have liked. I really believe, honestly, I think a top 3 is possible. On a perfect lap, I think I could have got 3rd place. But the top 2 are really, really fast. Too fast for me anyway. Nonetheless, the final qualifying ends in P12. A bit of a disappointment. It's going to be a free tire choice for everyone in the race, and our teammate starts from P6. So let's jump into the race and let's see what happens in the finale. Well, here we are for the final time in PSGL, round number 15, I believe, or 16 of the season. We're here for Brazil, Interlagos, and we're going to start on the mediums for this one. We're going to go for the alt strap, and we're going to see what happens. 5 lights are on for the final time in Interlagos. And we're underway, and it's actually a pretty average start. No real gains. We lose a little bit to Bayern, who's on softs in the Ferrari, so he's going aggressive on tyre strategy into turn 1 and down to turn 2. We got an alpha off of Primoz Miklovcic, I believe. Now we just about brush with Bayer's left rear tyre as we make our way down towards turn number 4. We're going to go to the outside line here as we've got JST braking quite early. There's a bit of contact.
Jack Love round. Big crash.
That move was illegal. Return the position.
And a bit of chaos there as well, as I don't know what happened with Biner and JST, but there was contact. We kind of bumped into the right rear. Luckily, no damage, but Jack Levity went round. We've gained, I think, a place. We're up to P11 now, but we got an illegal overtake for some reason, so we had to give it back to Biner, which is a bit of a shame. Otherwise, we could have been challenging JST right now for P9. Either way,
so Jack Love gone. Sam Bean still P8.
Decent start, and we're looking at Sam Bean because, of course, Williams are rivals in the constructors,
Bean, yeah.
So that's our target.
Leo P6.
As we get an update on Eduardo Leo, who is P6. Now, our engine in this race is Jakey B, the all-star Jake Benham, who, of course, I'm sure one day will be in F1 Esports very soon. In the meantime, Christian Hausmann on softs as well, making a move here as Get Own tries to get involved in the Haas, also on the mediums. We're not going to fight Hausmann, he's on a different compound. It's kind of pointless, as Biner and also JST battling our way up ahead here for P9. So we're going to let the soft guys do their work. We're going to do our own race on the medium.
That's one.
And hopefully we can, benefit later on in this race. Worth noting, you may have heard the news, but in this race, Eduardo Leo started P9. He went on to finish considerably higher than that, but he has now been banned from PSGL for cheating, as it was found out after the race that was the case.
How you doing? Guys on softs are already overheating. I'm P12 right now, back from still where I started. I've got Biner and Hausmann ahead of me on softs.
And the guys on softs now, lap 5, I start to overheat, and that gives us an opportunity.
P11 now, Biner's gone. That. So, yeah, I'm okay. I think it's just we need the soft runners to get out of this picture.
Now, Ichabina has disconnected briefly, and we're up to P11 again as we get past the Ferrari man, and we're now once again behind JST. Nothing happened. We go all the way to lap 10, pretty much going through the motions really, as we all just kind of fell into the DRS train at this point.
And what's your tyre one?
Let me know now, mate. Right front 37.
God.
What's yours?
Yeah, these pressures of shit. 36 of them.
Okay, we're fucked.
Now it's time for a bit of a rant, and we gambled on tyre pressures. We went for offset pressures, which is basically the left side of the tyre isn't the same as the right side. And it's given us really, really bad tyre wear. We took a gamble because Eduardo Leo was doing it, and it worked for him, but obviously we found out afterwards that he was indeed cheating, and I can see why.
In that case, try and go to the soft as late as possible.
Yeah, my fronts, like left sides, are like 10% lower than the rights.
Yeah, mine are getting there.
And you can see my teammate Louis Welch is struggling with the same issue, so we're both in trouble here. We've gambled on what we now know as a cheater's tyre pressures, and clearly it doesn't work for us not cheating. So we've got an issue here in this race with tyres.
We're gaining like 4% a lap.
Oh god.
And you can see we've got a bit of action behind as JST disconnects, and we actually overtake him inadvertently, and now you can see they're battling behind us. We're going to try to take the position here, and we're going to move up into the top 10. But at this stage, I am starting to really struggle on my tyres. The issue is now we've got to try and get back within DRS range. Hausmann 1.2 up the road. We need to close in, so we're going to have to push like crazy. And we managed to just about get back within a second and back within DRS range. But unfortunately, Hausmann is going to pit.
Oh, Hausmann's pit, dropping me out of DRS. Great.
And it always happens whenever there's action. It always seems to be around me, and I always come off worse because I always lose DRS on the key drivers around me. In this case, Dylan Warren and my teammate.
This always happens to me, man. And then I lose DRS and I'm fucked.
They're all fighting ahead.
Now this is a problem because we're going to have to drain our battery. I tried my best to catch back up. It just didn't happen. I was losing half a second on the 2 DRS zones. And all I'm doing now is use my battery up for no reason. That's JST now. I'm going to let him go. There's no point. I'd rather someone else drag me along and I save my battery. Meanwhile, Chana Kinchi also closing in as well in the Mercedes. So they're making good progress here. Either way, like I said, it's a frustrating point of the race. I've realised the tyre pressures aren't working, and Lewis has the same issue. He's on a pad than I'm on a wheel, so we've tested it both ways and it hasn't worked. We gambled, we made a last minute call after practice. But yeah, JST is just running the pace right now as we're just falling in line at this stage.
One of them will throw a screen freeze, but I don't know how to prove that.
Now Kinshi's going to come through here. I wish I'd defended more in hindsight, but I wasn't really in a position to battle at this stage.
We're approaching the pit window. You'll be on
Oh my
the
god, the
softs.
spun at the front.
And yellow flag here into turn 1 as we've got contact with Ulas Ozulurim.
60% right.
So a bit of contact and some action happening.
Green flag.
Jake, has Luke got damage?
Let me just see the next couple corners.
McLaren.
And we're just checking for damage here with that turn 1 incident, but I don't think he has it.
Tyre wear's fucked, mate. My right
It
side of the
doesn't
tyre.
look like it, no.
So confirmation, no damage, and also my tyre wear is really bad. Lap 19, I can only get one more lap out of these tyres before I have to pit. I don't have a choice. These tyres are going to go. But I can't pit too early because otherwise the softs won't make it. As Antoine Desaluski goes up the inside of the turn 1, we're going to hold him back though for now.
Not sure if they'll remove a screen freeze one.
And keep the Frenchman at bay. We're going to get a slipstream here from Akinci down to turn 4, so we'll stay ahead. Lap 20, I had discussions with Louis Welch and we agreed he could do one more lap because he had about 3% less than me. And I had to pit now because my tyres were done. They were finished. Never do offset tyre pressures, guys. That's my little tip of the day. It's not going to work. It's only going to just unbalance the car performance and the tyre wear. I was warned about this, so was Lewis, but again, you know, we're trying to go for the constructors. And we thought we'd go a different direction to everybody else and try something, but it didn't really work. So we're kind of having to defend ourselves and counteract that mistake. Nonetheless, pit stop done, soft tyres on, important phase now. Undercut is in full effect, and we need to push on this outlap and make sure we don't lose DRS on Chanakinchi and the other cars ahead. So important to keep part of the DRS train at this stage of the race. So we're going to cut onto the next lap, lap 22. Primoz Miklavcic in the pit lane and also Desaluski as well. We've gained a bunch of time as we're actually going to challenge our teammate Louis Welch here on the undercut on the pit exit.
How have you undercut me?
And you can hear Louis say, how have we undercut him? And it's just so powerful around here. Luke Smith ahead.
Quite a bit of battery.
Now, I spoke to Louis in the meantime and I said I'd let him buy if we had to swap it.
Amazing how Luke's lost the lead. Oh shit, that's my second warning. Fuck. I've got to be careful now.
And like I said, during the middle sector, I let Lewis know that if he wants to pass, he can go. He's faster than me around here. You know, he's about 3-4 tenths faster, especially in the middle sector. So I'm not going to use my DRS. I'm going to let him go. And we're just going to kind of play the team game here. And it should suit us better as a team if we can make this work. So
Luke's out of battery anyway.
Lewis through. And we're going to hopefully get him to reconnect onto the DRS of the cars ahead as we've got Warren leaving the pit exit. Did you get it? So we're currently P10, just about in the points. Perfect. And we're looking pretty decent. As Christian Hausmann retires,
my right front's on 9% already.
An incident on track resulting in loose debris.
Help us.
Fortunately, the marshals have managed to clear it up in time, and there are no plans for a safety car right now.
should I pit?
I'm just gonna gamble. Even though I'll have better tyres at the end anyway, and I'm just gonna keep it clean. I want 2 warnings as it is.
Now, I had a bit of a discussion, but in the end, I decided to pit because I want to have fresher rubber and have no tyre wear issues in this race.
Will you get ahead of the Ferrari?
Well, someone's pit behind me, Pedroño's pit, so I'll have one more place. I think I won't have the Ferrari now.
Go, exit now.
It'll be close,
We're racing
but
on
I
the
don't think
exit.
I'll have it.
Go now.
He's got 10 seconds though, Biner, so actually I think I might get him actually.
I remember Antoine had a
Look after
penalty
these
for this
tyres
race.
now. We want to finish the race on this compound.
Antoine's
You'll
got
get him, you'll get him.
penalty.
Go, 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 go.
Oh yeah, it's fine. Yeah, nice. Okay, so I'm P14, but I got a fresher set. Just got to not take too much out of them.
Now, here we are, back on the restart. Fresh softs, aggression is going to be key. We don't have a penalty either, which is important.
Are we allowed to pass before the start finish line?
No,
No, as soon as it goes green.
no, it's just the
What the
finish
fuck's
line.
Biner doing? Oh, he's pitting. What the fuck? That can't be allowed, surely.
So yeah, that was a bit of a mad one there as Biner cuts into the pits, but nonetheless, back underway. It was a late restart, but we're going, and we're going to try and fight our way through. Pedroño is going to be aggressive here to try and get by us, and I knew it was going to happen. Somehow we managed to convert defense into attack as we swing one around the outside of Primoz in the Alpha and move up into P12. So 1 place gained already. We don't have a penalty, so we're going to gain a bunch of places in this race if we just keep it clean. There's loads of action ahead.
And on Warren pen. Sam Bean penalty.
Yeah, okay, I'm just going to keep it clean. I'm on 2 warnings. I don't want to get a penalty, man. I can't get one. Like, I might let people go if it means I'm risking it, because I really, this is my way out, to be honest.
And you can hear me say I'm just, you know, debating as there's more action ahead. There's chaos everywhere.
It's going to get spicy. A lot of cars.
Tempted to just sit at the back, to be honest.
No, you need to keep your position for the 3-second penalties.
Yeah.
And yeah, normally I'd back off, but you can hear Jake say I've got to try and keep position, you know, to benefit from these penalties. So we've still got to keep pushing here.
Pedrinho's going to try so hard to get me here.
And you can hear me say Pedrinho's going to try so hard to get me, so I'm going to have to use battery to stay ahead. I don't want to drain my entire battery. I want to have something back to compete with when necessary as we go on to the next lap here.
Leo at the front is pushing.
And yeah, into turn 1, we've got some 2 wide action here. Get Owned and Dylan Warren still swapping places. They have a bit of contact.
Going to crash.
Oh my god, it's getting really close. They're still going side by side. And this is going to invite pressure from myself and also Pedrinho behind. I don't really want to get involved in this scrap, to be honest. You can see it's not the cleanest one as Warren goes off track. I could try and slide through here, but I don't quite have the momentum. And I don't want to drain my battery or waste time battling in the middle sector. I've got the tyres. I've just got to play the long game and be patient. I don't have a penalty and I don't want to risk it. So yeah, very important to, you know when to pick your battles in this race. As now lap 29, we're going to get more action here between these two as Warren sends one up the inside.
Warren and Get Owned again, so dirty, man. Why does this always happen to me when I find people who are battling? You watch when I lose the DRS range because of this.
If people are low on ERS.
Now you just saw Luke Smith in the McLaren backwards in the middle sector. These two are still going at it, and now at the final corner,
Warren's gone. Both McLarens in a lap have gone.
and just like that, McLarens are out of the picture.
That's then out of the running for the constructors.
And we're now up to P10 once again in the points.
Leo's going to win, isn't he? He's going to just drive away.
He is driving away.
I mean, depends on Ulas. He's not getting past.
Now you can hear me say Leo's going to probably win this, which after race he got stripped away anyway.
Is he just banking on the penalty, do you reckon?
I don't know what he's doing. He's just sat there.
But just look at this action right now. It's too wide here. These guys are all chopping and changing, swapping places. And if we can just clear these guys, Louis Welch, my teammates at the front of this train, we might
To get past JST, he's got no penalty.
have a chance to get something. We've got to get past JST. He doesn't have a penalty, just like Pedrinho. If we can clear these two, I think we're on for a top 4. So we just got to try and keep it clean after that. So Get Owned and Desaluski going at it here. Desaluski also doesn't have a penalty. If we can clear Desaluski, that'd be great. He does, however, have a post-race penalty carried over from the last race in Baku, though.
Another 2 down. That was going to happen. Right, Jay's got no battery again.
No, Desaluski caused an incident in Baku, so he's got a 10-second post-race penalty, but he's now at the picture after contact with Get Owned. Look at this now, we're right at the back of JST here. If we can get this move, we're P7.
And the Ween's got a pen.
Which,
And we're without penalties. Jay has no ERS left, so we're going to send it down the pit straight, down to turn 1, around the outside we go.
There's been an incident
Oh,
on
no,
track,
man.
but officials
that
aren't
place
looking
back.
to push for a safety car right now.
Don't
Just
touch
be
me, just give
careful.
me that fucking place.
I don't want that. So why is it a safety car?
Am I not ahead? I should be ahead.
Give that
Oh, I
position
passed
back.
him.
We are under safety
Bruv.
car conditions and
What?
cannot overtake.
This
Return
just
the position.
pretty much killed me.
I was ahead. Ah, you fuckers. Now the frustration kicks in. We should have had that place. If you pause the frame, we are well ahead for the restart. Nonetheless, another safety car, another restart, and I make a mistake here as right there, the weaving just catches us out. That penalty though will get removed after the race, so no concerns. Luckily no damage either. It's worth noting Sam Bean pit during that safety car and has fresh soft tyres.
What's Leo doing?
5-second penalty.
So yeah, another restart at a stupid standstill pace. But away we go, and this restart wasn't great.
That's left me in fucking trouble.
You can see me, I'm in big trouble here. We've got Pedrinho and Sam Bean behind. Sam is on those brand new-ish fresh soft tyres, so he's going to be very fast. It looks like Pedrinho has someone around the outside. No, it's actually, yeah, it's Pedrinho around the outside. We're going to have to fight back here side by side, wheel to wheel, through turn 3. Sam Bean trying to get involved as well, making it 3 wide almost down to turn 4. You shouldn't really be going for that. We're going to just like a roadblock it and make it a 2 wide into turn 4. Still side by side though with the young Spaniard as we make our way up the hill into the double right-handers. We're going to have to commit here and carry some speed as we've got JST still ahead of us here, but he now has, of course, that penalty that I gave him from the safety car face, so we'll both get that removed. So we're both technically still on no penalties, so it's important that we stay ahead of Pedrinho and pass JST if possible, because we're going to gain a bunch of places at the end because we still don't have an actual track limits penalty. And even then, the lap 1 incident, I might appeal that anyway because of the it was just a racing turn 1 incident and I got forced off track, so I couldn't go anywhere else anyway. So there is a strong chance that we can, you know, end without penalties. And we're P7 as it is. And this time, for the second time, we're looking at a move on JST. The problem is I've used a lot of my battery battling, so I can't quite commit. We're going to have a look under braking, but Jay moves and defends at the last second. We're going to go to the outside.
Why the fuck?
We get squeezed off the track pretty much.
Why are you doing that?
And I wasn't happy about that. That was on the limit. But down towards turn 4, we're going to try and get this move done. Sam Bean trying to get through as well. We managed to just get ahead. Ran the outside of turn number 4 here. More contact.
Why? Just stop pushing me off, bro.
But we managed to get the upper hand, get the advantage. And now the inside line into the double right-handers. Still going at it, but we managed to finally make the move and get ahead of Jay. And just like that, we're P6 and without a penalty. Now, Chana Kinchi and Andre Tarabukin also don't have penalties, and we are on much fresher tyres than the pair of them, so we can try and hunt them down. The issue is I've used up a lot of battery on this lap, and we're not going to have a lot left for the last one. So I'm going to try and save a little bit because I feel like...
Yeah, you can save yours for the last straight, Tom.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
You can see Jake agrees with me, but we're going to try and have a bit of a last lap push because I feel like these two ahead of us might have a little bit of a crash or something, and we may have a chance to pick up the pieces. So last lap of the race. In the meantime, Samuel Bean is using literally every bit of his ERS to catch up, and he's actually put me under some pressure here all of a sudden through turn 3.
May not get the chance. Sam's going to fucking go for me here.
And you can hear me say I'm going to have to use my battery because Sam Bean, look at the closing speed of the Williams. Down towards turn 4 we go. Side by side is very close. On the exit we have contact and we're into the wall.
Are you okay? That was a big one. Confirm you're okay, please.
And just like that, race over. Season over. I put my hand up. Racing incident, and if anything, it's my fault. I kind of just drove into the side of him. I straightened up my car too early. I don't know what I was doing, but I was just frustrated because we could have got some big points in that last race. But in the end, it's nothing. P14. Final results though. Akinci picked up the win as he had no penalties. Leo did win it, technically, but he got, you know, banned post-race. After penalties, I think Louis Welch got P3. Andrew Tarabukin from F3 in his F2 debut gets a P2. And yeah, there's your final kind of rundown. You guys can break it down. A lot of penalties, a lot of chaos, and you know, for me, just a lot of frustration because we end the season with a double DNF, which is, well, not a double DNF, a back-to-back DNF more like. So I DNF'd in Baku and I DNF'd here as well, which is really disappointing. So not the way I wanted to go out in PSGL. Nonetheless though, we're going to look at the standings now for the final time this season. The Drivers' Championship, of course, is already wrapped up. Sam Bean won that, and John Evans wrapped up second in the last race. Louis Welch, with that podium, gets P3, and we finish in P4 behind him. So yeah, the double DNF right at the end has not helped one bit. In the Constructors though, we win the championship, and I was happy about that. That was the kind of aim really at the start of the season between me and Louis Welch, to be a good team, work together, and we managed to win it in the end. So happy about that. We do win one championship, and we'll take that momentum into next season. Overall, a lot of things that could have gone differently. I think I could have, you know, had a top 5 in Bahrain. I could have won Zandvoort. You know, there was a lot of what ifs, but we got very, very unlucky this season, and hopefully I'm going to try my hardest to do a better job next year to make sure that doesn't happen. But anyway, that is it for this season of PSGL, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Thank you to the members, as always, for supporting the content. Finally, check out the 2 videos on screen if you haven't seen them. But that is it from me here today, and I'll see all of you in the brand new season.